Now here's our opportunity to use pivots to make a decision that'll impact a lot of lives. Or it could be a case of saving lives. It could be a case of terminating the right number of people or not terminating the right number of people. Let's take a look at Data 3 tab in the Pivot Data raw file. We have a whole lot of countries that we operate in, either have employees or actually sell in. We have certain regions around the world that we operate in, and there's a geopolitical economic risk code which we maybe purchased from a consulting firm or got it from the State Department or Foreign Affairs. I'll give you an example. A high risk code of 8 would mean it's a very risky country to do business in, not just from an economic point of view, but also from a safety point of view of your employees. So in some of these countries, we do have staff on the ground, and we'll just assume that they are expatriate staff. So they're actually Canadians working in that country. Now let's do a pivot and we'll figure some stuff out. Okay, so insert pivot table. First of all, how many countries do we operate in? Well, let's put market here. Well, let's put it here, and it would actually tell you the total would be, let's see, let's highlight all these names, and it would say 93 down here. The thing is, I'm not sure we operate in every country. So what does operate mean? I think if we have net sales in a country, we must be operating there. So let's put net sales in box 1. And there are some countries that are zeros. So let's sort this out and get rid of all the zeros. So anywhere there's a number, which would be up to here, these countries in fact we operate in. And if you look down in the bottom right, it says 70. So there are in fact only 70 countries we operate in. Okay, so let's get rid of that. How many countries do we have staff in? So let's take staff and put it in box 1 again. So if you see a number 1, it means yes, we have staff. Doesn't mean we have one staff. It just means this country gave me a list that has staff names on it. So let's take a look at the bottom, and the answer is 36. We have 36 countries that actually have staff. Now my question to you is, we heard from our insurance company that they're no longer going to provide liability insurance for our employees in high-risk countries. And a high risk would be risk 7 or 8. And we need to remove those employees or reinsure them with somebody else within 48 hours. Now there is a company like Pinkerton who will drop helicopters on the ground. The guards will actually take our employees and airlift them out within 48 hours at a cost of $100,000, okay, as an example. So can you tell me the total budget to extract these employees out of these countries? So how many employees, how many staff do we have in high-risk countries that are risk 7 or 8? So we can look at it a number of ways. We can put risk in box 4. I think is the best way to do it. And you'll see this box 4 auto filter drop down. Let's click, select multiple items, uncheck them all, and let's do just 7 and 8 and click OK. And you're looking at the number 3. So most people would say 3 times $100,000, the answer is $300,000. But that's a mistake, because you have to ask yourself, what am I looking at? Does this mean there's 1 employee in Egypt, 1 employee in Iraq, and 1 employee in Libya? Not necessarily. I think that means, yes, Egypt gave me a list. Yes, Iraq gave me a list. And yes, Libya gave me a list. So I might want to right-click on the number, value field settings, and change from a count of lists of people to actually adding up the people on that list. And the number changes. It's now 5. So in fact, I'm looking for $500,000. Okay. Now let's just verify that. Let's go back to the Data 3 tab, and let's sort the risks. Click in Risk, go to Sort and Filter, and let's sort them so that my high risks are at the top. And let's just take a look at all the 7s and 8s, and you'll see 3 plus 1 plus 1. And surely when it comes to saving lives, you might want to double check just to be sure.